Are we rolling? No. I have a little crush.
On me?
No.
You had a crush on me?
No, I had a crush on you for what, 10 years? You blew it.
Oh, we are rolling. Episode 2. Casey Meacham.
We made it.
She's here. How are you?
Let me hide my vape. How are you?
Bad?
Bad?
No, I'm fine. I'm excited for today. If you will, Casey, could you give them a nice welcome to the podcast? Maybe,
Welcome to this podcast.
what's the name of the podcast?
The Exes?
Yep.
The Exes.
The Exes.
The Exes.
A podcast.
Experiment.
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 Wow. So today you brought beer and everything. You were ready.
Yeah, it's not fair. I can't get a beer here.
By the way, today, and this could change, but today we're live at the beautiful big country of Bossier City.
Yes.
My favorite nightclub. I love this place. And thank you to them for letting us do the podcast here. But I know I got a few requests after last week, actually. If there's a business out there, maybe you want us to do this podcast at your business. You can be open. You can be closed. I think that could be fun.
Yeah.
People can come and ask questions in person.
Oh, no.
And they can throw tomatoes
They
at
can
me.
watch us live?
Yeah, they can watch us live.
Oh, my goodness.
So if your business is interested in that, just email me, j@thekspc.com, and we'll go from there. But today we're live at Big Country Bossier City. I love this place. It's a lot quieter in here when we do the podcast.
Yes. Is this where you meet up with most of your dates?
Most of the block lists?
Block list, yeah.
You know what's funny? Actually, no. A lot of times I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because what you meet up with dates in here.
I mean, I like.
This is a classic Casey Meacham.
I don't meet people here though.
This is a classic Casey Meacham date spot. It
No.
really is. Oh, yes, it is.
I understand your frustration though about it. Like now, like.
Oh, about getting
About like I don't know.
Well, I know I'm better at it now than I was.
Yeah.
Because when you would years ago, obviously, I think for the most part I'm better at it now. But it's like I'm working, you know. If you're working a full nightclub, the last thing I want to do is look at my ex.
Yeah, he would literally
grinding up on some
me.
dude.
Yeah, you banned.
No,
But I
didn't
don't
ban-
grind. I don't grind. Don't even play.
You grind.
I want proof.
You grind.
I want proof.
No,
Can you cut that out? I messed up right there. But like
You're a grinder, and nothing will be cut up.
that is a lie.
You're a grinder.
Have I ever grinded on you?
Well, no, because me and you never danced together.
Exactly. I don't do that. I don't grind.
I'm a big grinder.
I know you are.
I think for guys like
I
me,
do not do that. Nobody's seen me. If they have seen me dancing with somebody, it's my friend for sure.
I think,
With the girls,
like if you can't
hanging
dance,
out.
like I can't dance at all. Then
You
grinding
can,
is
you
easy.
just don't
You just
want
kind of
to.
sit back and, that's like the only kind of dancing I can do. You know what's funny is that we're 7 minutes into this, maybe a little less than that now, and like I am so self-conscious now of talking too much after last week. I don't think I've ever been self-conscious about that.
I mean, that's your job. I mean, that's what you're born to do is talk. But do you want to kind of get into...
I think we need to have a fun little feature that I was thinking about.
Okay.
I think we need to do a thing every week where you only get to use it once. But if I'm talking too much, you can mute my mic for a minute straight. And I can't say anything for a minute. You just
Okay,
go.
yeah. That'd be just great when I'm trying
fun.
to answer questions.
Yeah.
Other than that, don't really care how much you talk.
That way all the haters can shut up about me talking so much. I mean, honestly, you know that
I have
you...
haters too, though.
think
I mean, you just roll with it.
You just know this about me, that I take stuff like that so to heart.
Yeah.
You know, so the first podcast, I think, did really well. Like, feedback-wise, I couldn't believe it. I mean, so many people watched it and had positive things to say. But, that 1% that does it, I'm, like, losing sleep over it.
Yeah, I've never really cared about that. My parents have always raised me like they've always lived too. Like they lived not looking at others and following, that route. And so as growing up, they've always told me like, be your own person, do what you think is right and don't care about what people think. And so we are very different in that way.
Oh, for sure. I always think it's, It's just so in my core from radio.
Yeah.
In that you kind of live and die by people's opinion of you, money wise, ratings wise, So it's not that I'm against people disliking me. It's not necessarily that. They're just certain, like
Jay.
Well, no, because I don't think anyone dislikes me. So it's
You really cannot stand if somebody even remotely says they don't like your glasses. Like, you'll cry at night.
Yeah, I lose sleep over stuff like that for sure.
It's insane.
And so I think that for me, that was an interesting, and that's why we call it the experiment, because it is an experiment, this thing we're doing.
I just popped a nail off.
Goodbye, nail. I think that what we are doing is so out of both of our comfort zones. I get people all the time when the idea of the podcast came up, they would say, well, that'll be easy for you. It's a podcast. But in reality, like I've done a few. I've done Frequency Interrupted in Shreveport. I've done Thoughts with the Cheap Sheets and Thoughts from the Cheap Seats. Man, this Corona's strong. I always feel uncomfortable doing podcasts, though, because radio is certainly the type of radio I do. It's talk for 8 seconds. It's introduce this Ariana Grande song. Or at maximum, it's talk for a minute about something happening in Shreveport. So,
we can't
go ahead.
Be friends. You know that song?
What is it?
That We Can't Be Friends by Ariana Grande.
No,
That's a good song for me.
I only listened to the first 8 seconds of a song.
My POV.
What? We Can't Be Friends?
Yeah.
Oh, you and I?
No, you know that song? Have you listened to it?
No, I'm telling you. Radio DJs, people think we know all the songs. If you play me the first 5 seconds of a song, I'll tell you what it is immediately. But after we intro, we don't listen to it.
Oh, you need to listen to the words of that.
Really?
I'll just TikTok it and send it to you with me singing it.
Oh, go on. I don't want to interrupt you. I really don't. I want you just to tell me every time you're done, because I never want anyone to think that I'm
done.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is there anything else in there that you want to get out before I talk?
No.
Okay. It's weird because it's so on my mind. We're talking about Big Country, and we were telling a story about how this is your date place.
It's not a date place.
I wanted, because you said I banned you, but that's not true. I didn't ban you. I banned you from upstairs. There's an upstairs night.
I couldn't walk in the building.
Well, if that's the case, they did that. I didn't do that.
I couldn't walk in the
I just
building.
had a rule where you can come upstairs because
I couldn't walk in the building.
Can I tell the story though of what happened that night?
I couldn't walk in the building.
I think that was the best thing for us at that time.
Okay, so let me go in a little bit.
Let's tell the story though.
I will.
Okay.
We'll get to the story.
I'll be over here. Now I'm going to shut up.
I completely, like I said in the last one, when you're going through it, you don't really, I think, recognize, especially with betrayal and anger and stuff like that, you're not really thinking about the other person. You're thinking about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to just keep my head above water at the same time of I do have children, trying to maneuver like this new. Are you really eating burrito right now? Like, this is the issue.
I'm not going to open it.
Oh my gosh. So
I just wanted to make sure I had it in my
oh
backpack.
my gosh. Like, you're literally throwing me off.
These are so good. Okay.
When that happened and I go out in the world and now I'm dating, I have already heard.
Yeah, but you went out.
I'm talking. I'm talking. When I was going out and stuff like that for the first time in my life, okay, I'm 26 years old at this point.
Go on.
26. You've been in the club since forever. So this is new to me. So I'm going out meeting people here and there, okay? Yes, I probably shouldn't have came to your place of work.
Right. No one
100%.
No one in their right mind would have done that.
But
over and over and over and over again. But yes.
Where we live at, my nails on the table. I hope that's not in the frame. Oh my gosh.
It is.
Embarrassing.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Let me see that now. Actually, hold it up. This is a genuine podcast. We talk about our flaws.
Anyway, so with all of that happening, I understand why you didn't want me around. But at the same time, when you live in a very small ass town.
Yes, with 10 to 15 bars or nightclubs. Go on.
No. You know that everybody comes here. Everybody comes here.
No doubt.
So in me making friends,
yeah.
What I'm just not allowed to do what my friends go and do.
I think what you are missing here,
But I wasn't with guys. Like, as in, like, romantically.
The night that you
No,
got banned
we can
from-
talk about
okay. No, we
that
don't have
night.
to if you don't
No,
want
we're
to.
going to talk about that night.
Okay.
We are going to talk about that night. But I'm talking about, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if I was talking to a guy. It didn't matter if I came up with a girl. It didn't matter if I came up with a guy friend. I was kicked out. I was kicked out.
Right.
So
No,
that was my issue in my brain at the time. I'm still talking. Thank you.
Oh my.
So in my brain, I'm like,
No more beer for you.
What can I do? Like, what can I possibly do?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do anything. So I felt a little bit controlled and not being in a relationship. So I'm single and doing everything on my own, but I'm still controlled by
Control
something.
That's a strong word. My hand is raised though. You let me know when.
But that's why you were spiraling because you didn't have control over your life anymore.
I had control over things. I had control over where I work. I had control over the environment that I surround myself with while I'm at work. And you got to think about it from the business's standpoint. That's not. I'm employed by this place to do. They literally give me the keys to a very nice room. Their upstairs room it's its own thing. That is, they let me do whatever I want to do. They have trusted me with with making money for the bartenders.
No,
with
I don't.
Taking care. Listen,
I know all this.
So the reason they
I
banned
lived
you,
with you
okay.
forever. I know how important the bar is to you.
No, I'm telling you why they would have taken issue with you not being allowed to be in here. Because they could see that when you were in here, certainly when you're in here with guys.
I wasn't. No.
Okay. You could have gone downstairs and had a blast. The downstairs
And
is
I
where we're
did.
at now. It's beautiful.
I did.
You could have went to the karaoke room and had a blast. You would have
I
never.
did.
Okay. Then when you go upstairs though into my room, right when it was fresh at that point. It wasn't like it is now. Now you
It was
can
not
and
fresh.
You are. It wasn't fresh the night that you brought the guy into this club. That wasn't fresh.
That wasn't
fresh though.
That was 8 months later.
Okay, so 8 months later, you don't think that's fresh? To bring him into my club?
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't bring him in here, though.
Who are you sitting directly next to? I'm just saying. I mean, come on, Casey.
Okay,
My point is with
I get
upstairs,
it.
No. My point with upstairs is you have the whole downstairs you can hang out, the whole karaoke room you can hang
But
out.
I was
you went
downstairs.
upstairs.
But I was downstairs.
Yeah, but not when I was bothered by you.
But you came over to who?
Oh,
Me.
well, that night's different. That was a Friday night, and you came in here with that guy, which was still, I can't wrap my head. You can't justify it. There's just no way.
But I
There's
never
no
came
way
in
you
here.
can
I never
justify
walked
that.
in here
No
with
way.
a guy. I never
You
walked
know
in
what's
here.
funny, too? You know what I remember that night? Is that you said, I didn't know you were working. Like I have ever taken a Friday or a Saturday off. That was the first thing you said to justify it, was I didn't know you were working.
Well,
I have worked every Friday and Saturday
so,
since I was 16.
100%. But what I was told, because I had told people that I can't go there.
Because why, Casey?
And they said, because I knew that was an issue.
Because you knew it was wrong. Wow. But
you do stuff that you know is wrong all the time.
I do.
Okay, so listen. So I was told before I walked into this place that you had went home because of the situation.
I went home at 10:30 at
and
night.
so when you told it, that's what they told me. They said you were not working, you were going home because they allowed that to happen. And so when I came in here, I thought you weren't here, and that's when you came up to me. I said I didn't know you were working tonight because they had told me you were going home.
Well, I want to tell that one was different, I'd say, because that was more extreme. That one was more extreme.
But you've had a problem with everybody that I've.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter who it is. It does not matter if they're my friend. You hate them. They're done.
I hate them when you bring them to where I am forced to be. I don't want to see you hooking up with another guy.
But you can hook up with the whole town.
Not at your work. No.
But I know
I don't go to get my hair cut and hook up with the girl
So I'm just supposed to
down.
hide my life from you for.
No, put it on Front Street. Don't do it in front of me while I'm working.
But I wasn't doing anything. It's like me and you talking right now. There was nothing.
Yeah, but if you're dating somebody, I don't want to see you two. I just don't. Not while I'm working. I just don't. I'm working. I have a job to do. I don't need to be thinking about that kind of stuff. I want to talk about the night though. That if you don't want to talk about it, tell me and I will.
No,
stop.
go ahead. I don't
Use your
care.
ex. You have 3 exes. I just don't want to start it. I won't say any names.
Yeah, just don't say names.
This night was funny.
attention.
I think it's funny. That night you came in. You had just started dating this guy. You were dating him. Yes.
I talked to him for like 7 months.
Right. This was early in that 7 months.
This was in the 7 months of
Right.
talking to him.
This
yes.
was I had known this guy a little bit
Yeah.
prior. I'd gotten him into the club for free. He was a friend. I'd consider
I
him
didn't
a
know
friend
that.
very loosely. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I remember talking to you about that afterwards. I was like, geez, man,
well,
this
these
guy was like a
people
buddy of mine.
lie to my ass.
This night, though, you came upstairs on a Saturday night with him.
I didn't go with him.
You were next. Okay.
I can tell you what happened exactly. I went up there with my friends, and I was dancing with my friends.
I just love how you have a
I can
justification
tell you, no,
for it.
I went over. Me and another friend had said hey to you, right?
Yes.
A girl.
Yeah.
And I walked back, and my arm was grabbed. And I just looked up and I waved, and I went back with my friend. When I was leaving, that's when he came over to me. I never came
Right.
in here and walked in here with
I
a
agree.
guy holding hands.
I
mean, until this year.
Yeah.
Until this year, but like,
Yeah.
through of all
Well,
the
like I said,
heightened...
we're certainly different now, though. Like
Yeah.
you're in here all the time.
Yeah.
It's no issues. I think what helped though is we
Since
talked,
last September.
I think we kind of talked though about kind of maybe why I had the issues that I had, and I think you
Yes.
understood where I was coming from. Finally,
But I've never, ever, ever in my life, I would never do this to somebody, is
Go on,
flaunt something in front of somebody's face. And I just want you,
yeah.
I want you to agree with me for my character's sake, because I would never, I'm not that type of person. Now, have I been carefree and seen you over there being pissed off and me not caring that you're pissed off? Yes.
Right.
But I've never flaunted stuff in front of your face.
I just don't think it was ever right. I think you don't see it as flaunting, but I think there's just so many other places, including places inside of the club you're in, where you could go where I don't have to see it. So whether you're flaunting
100%
intentionally
agree.
or not, that's how I took it.
Okay, so let's turn this around, though. Let me give you a different perspective on things. People break up, right? People go
They
through
do.
stuff. People get betrayed. Okay, many
Yeah.
people. I have been betrayed. Did I still have to walk into school and see that person? Do I still have to see that person on other
different.
things? Other than that, take another regular relationship that I had for 3 years, and I was that was mental abuse. Do I still have to see him around town? Yes, people have to still see people.
I agree. That
So,
would be like
in
me
that-
going to a restaurant and you being there on a date and me being mad, which would never happen. It's different when everybody and their mom knows that I'm here, I work here, that's my room. That is different. That's not the same.
But I
don't think you
wasn't
can
on
possibly-
your dance floor. Like, that's what I'm trying to say.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
That's cool.
with a guy, no.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
I need stitches on my knuckle. I don't know how this happened, but that night though, I remember walking up to you guys and saying, "Y'all have to leave." And I had my security with
Well,
me.
you were on him. You weren't
Well,
really
of
on
course,
me.
Yeah, I was like, "Y'all can't be up here," but I was and I'm not really that confrontational, but I was so insulted by that for multiple reasons. Number one, you, but number two, I'm loosely friends with this guy, and I'd gotten him into this exact club before for free.
I didn't even know y'all were friends like that.
It wasn't that long actually, until like that night. I remember I did I want to say it was what's that event that I do every year with the it's themed. I can't believe I can't. DJ Thomas puts it on. I hosted it.
Party Girl?
Party Girl. Yes, it was Party Girl. I got him into Party Girl. Talked
That's
him into Party Girl.
crazy.
But then y'all at that point y'all were already talking, and I didn't know that. He didn't tell me that. So, anyways, that night I remember going up to both of you, and I was like, "Y'all cannot be up here. You can go downstairs, but you cannot be up here." And I remember you were like, "Yeah, let's go." And then he started laughing, and
He's freaking nuts.
I got this guy next to me, DK. If you're watching, I love you and I miss you. This guy's 400 pounds, all just rock, 6'4", 6'5", and I just remember him laughing at me, and I said, "Oh, if it's funny, I'll show you something real funny." And then DK just grabbed him and launched him. It was the best night of my life. My point is,
What is your point?
you could not possibly justify doing that. Just like there are things in our relationship that I can't justify. I think some things just kind of, I think now you understand at least where I was at.
I think
at
I
the time.
shouldn't have came here at all during the first year. So,
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
the first 10 years. Like,
no. First year.
I don't have my sweat rag this week. and this is going to become a problem. Bleeding on the knuckle.
But where you were going, like, just to add this in there, just drop it in there, because I know a lot of people, like, know your side of things. But where you said that you went through a depression and you were going through, a lot of sadness, I was going through that before you a little bit. And I don't know if you realize, like, I'm a very strong personality, or what? Not personality.
I realize that for sure.
Maybe not personality, but like person. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't ask for help. I don't tell you, like, if I'm crying or, I don't know how do you, like, if I get emotional, I kind of just keep it in. I've gotten better as I got older of telling people how I feel, but even that, it doesn't matter. Some people are going to care, some people are just don't.
Yeah.
But I feel like since you were so into your work and stuff, I never really bothered you with how I felt. Obviously, you knew I was sleeping a lot during the day. Like, I was highly depressed for about a year.
I can say this. I don't know what this will mean to you, or even if you want to talk about this kind of thing. I remember when I realized, because even sleeping, like, we had kids, man. We were young. We were stressed. We were dealing with, it's funny, I think we were dealing with stuff then that a lot of our friends are dealing with now. Not in a relationship sense, but like having kids and finding a way to make that work. And they're only, 29, 30, 31, and they're just having their first one. And we were dealing with that at such a young age in comparison. So I think a lot of times I didn't attribute, sleeping all the time. Like, I just thought that was kind of part of, we have to deal with the situation that we're in. However we
No,
can.
I mean, my kids never made me tired.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, I had
sure.
such good babies, and, like, that is the one thing I'm so thankful for, is that you did work and you let me be a mom. Like, I remember when I left and I was working those 3 jobs, it's like I just wanted to be a mom again, because not just to not go to work or not get ready or not have all this stress, but that time with your kids, that was all I knew. I didn't know the club life. I didn't know what you knew. So I mean, I had tunnel vision when it came to River and Rose. I mean, that's all I knew. And then I started modeling, and I did make friends, and then I did my hair, business and stuff like that. But I always wanted to have that back. Like, I remember when I left and I started working on those jobs and stuff like that, I'm like, the amount of time I'm so grateful for having, like, with my that time that I had with the kids.
No, I'm sorry. I just meant that, like, you
thought it was in your mind exhausting.
I wasn't thinking it was a you and I thing.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, we've talked about this, and I feel bad because I think it's the kind of thing that we could talk about for 7 hours. So I don't necessarily want to go into it now.
Right.
But I just have a belief that I hold true. Like, I just believe that one person is made for another person. I believe these 2 puzzle pieces fit, and I believe any other like I said, you don't have to agree with that. Like, that's just a personal, like, that's what I feel. So understanding that was my thought, I mean, I just thought you and I were always going to be together. I knew that we would have issues. I just thought forever, whatever that issue is, nothing would be too big that we couldn't push through and work out.
So.
But my point is, when the first time I realized that something was wrong with us was you started smoking cigarettes. And I didn't smoke cigarettes at the time.
I started smoking because just everybody in cosmetology and law school smokes. Like, it's just like a thing. Like,
no, it's not necessarily the act of smoking, but I would come home from work and you would go outside and smoke cigarettes for like 45 minutes. To the point where I started smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
do you remember that at
I
all?
wasn't like, I can honest to God tell you, like, there was nothing weird going on there. I was literally just chain smoking.
Yeah.
And I understand. Yeah. I mean, I guess that might have been where all my anxiety started. After Rose, and like.
Yeah. I just remember coming home and saying, damn, like, something like this is something with her and I, because, I think. When I would come home from work, it was awesome because you and the kids would just grab me and greet me and meet me at the door, and it was a great time. But then there was a period where that kind of stopped. And for me, I've forgotten a lot of stuff, obviously. I just remember that sticks out in my head as something when it started. I was like, man, something's going on here.
Yeah. I mean, I think it became a a lot for me. I think I was to the point of managing the house, taking care of the girls. I would go to school. The girls would be in Houghton. Go pick the girls up from Houghton after 5 o'clock, you know, when I get out of school, and I'm not getting paid anything. But, you know, go get them from Houghton, drive all the way back to Shreveport, make sure they had dinner, and then you would have, you know, come home around 8:30. It became a lot for me to not have anybody to really have a friendship with or talk to or be cared for. I did really well, and I still do really well with being alone. I have since I was a child. I was the only girl, so I kind of had to be alone and do stuff alone. But I think when you get older, especially like 25, 26, there's certain things that you do want out of, like, it was almost like we became roommates for me, and you didn't even realize it.
That's so true.
And, you know, I would try to say stuff like here and there, but I mean, you'd be in the kitchen with your DJ stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would suggest doing this or suggest doing that. And it's like, no. Like, it was an immediate no. It was not listened to. I didn't feel like my opinion mattered. I didn't feel like, you know, it was like I was younger than you, so it didn't matter what I wanted or what I said. It was like,
Yeah,
your
and
way.
even that though, much like how you say, you know, cigarettes or any, you know, stuff like that wasn't, like that might not have been, I think you know, that might not have happened the way that you believe it happened. Like, I might not have, you know, might not have, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say, I guess, and that's hard for me. I think you might have seen it and thought something different than it was. I could have just been, like, endlessly focused on work. That's not necessarily that your opinion doesn't matter. It might, or does that make sense?
I mean, I was pretty, you know, I was kind of, what do you call that? It was like dismissed, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's what I was trying to say. Like, if I'm not saying that didn't happen.
I didn't know. I didn't have any idea how important I was to you.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Well,
after I had Rose. And you know, I can buy you Starburst every day, and it's your favorite candy, and it put a smile on your face. Oh, thanks. But
what?
how?
So take me
how
back
does
into a
that-
time machine and tell me what I could have done. I think that's a good point.
I don't know. I think a lot of life, I think this was supposed to happen. I really do, because you know, I know I've been to the point of, you know, my heart being broken and feeling sick. And you know that I've called you multiple times when that happened. Like, to where I can't get out of bed, and my 70-year-old Nana's like coming over and like helping me out of bed. I know that feeling, but I also just think, like, you make decisions in life, okay? We made a decision to have kids. We made a decision to try to work it out. No, I don't think that you were meant to be cheated on, or you deserved to go through that stuff. But I think as life happens with the decisions you make and the free will you have, you that's your opportunity to learn and grow. And that's, I mean, everybody has to go through something. I do think I'm very lucky, and I think you agree, that if I had to have kids with anybody, I would pick you again. I would. Because of the kind of father you are. I'm going to get sad now. Because it's not about money. And it's not about, like, it's truly about character with a person. And that's why I'm so single to say it's so hard to find somebody with, like, just good character. You know they're going to be the same way. If you find somebody with good character, they're going to be the same at 50, 60 years old. Say something so I can stop crying. But I know that stuff happens for a reason, and I think we go through things based on your decisions. And our decisions, you know, we have to pay for those decisions, those wrong decisions, you know, the good decisions you get. I mean, just the road you walk on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think this is actually great timing, because at this point, I do have to ask you to do me a favor. I do need you to walk over to your camera and restart it.
Oh, my God.
It's definitely probably within 30 seconds away from needing a restart.
Are you serious?
And you have no clue how bad I did not want to say that. But the whole time I was thinking this is really going to make me look like a total jerk.
What do?
There's a record button on it.
Just press it?
Yeah, press it. And then press it again. Is it recording again?
Yeah.
All right, get over here and start crying again.
Oh my gosh.
You know, we had a fun little bet going on who would cry first.
Who? Who had the bet?
We had just a conversation. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I didn't think you would cry at all. Wow. Because I was getting ready to go in on you, and then you started crying. And I was like, can't really do that. I'm totally kidding, by the way.
I know you go on me when I'm crying all the time.
That's not true.
But yeah, so let's go into, okay. To that, what I've learned is that was the best possible thing for me going through that bad relationship after you.
Mm-hmm.
I learned so much. That was never love, you know, and I knew what love was because I had kids and I was in love with you for so long.
You were in love with me for at least 6 months. I mean, no doubt about that.
I knew what love was, and for some reason, when you're sucked into these horrible things, like, it was like the lowest point in my life. It was terrible. Terrible things happened. I definitely got my karma and paid back for stuff way more than I thought. I mean, like, it was crazy because I kept myself in it. But doing that, I now know I just learned so much from that. And that's when you were talking about being so closed off to things. And I get you not wanting to be out there and risking, but love is the best thing about life. You know that. You know that because you have kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is the best part about life, and I don't want you to not experience that ever again. And sometimes you're going to have to risk, like, you know, I get hurt all the time still.
Yeah, like I said, I think as we go on, we have some, like, core disagreements.
You have to put yourself out there, Jay.
No, I just think we disagree on love.
You don't think it's the best thing in the world?
No, it is. It's endless. I think that when we were together, I think, like, the amount of love I had for you was so indescribable that I was doing things because I loved you, but that ended up hurting me. I didn't work all the time for me.
No, I know you didn't do that just for you.
I know, but there's other things too. Like, I just think that I don't ever want to even try that again because it sucked. Like, it was the best feeling ever to know every day that you have a teammate, that you have somebody.
Yeah, but
on your
I didn't have a
side.
teammate.
I know. I think that.
But you know that because you're
But that's
friends
my
with people.
point. You say that you didn't have a teammate because I wasn't there.
How many people do you know right now is a teammate to their wife?
A few.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I think the majority of people that have settled down, somebody is at home doing all the work.
But that's because somebody is not at home doing all the work.
Somebody's off. Okay. I don't know. I don't even want to get into all that. Let's not get onto all that. But
Yeah.
I know that I'm not babysitting a full-grown man anymore. I'm not doing it. If I'm not, it's about what you think you deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think I deserve a big house or $1 million or all this, material shit? No. What I deserve is to be paid attention to and talked to and cared for emotionally, somebody to support me and have my back, because I'm so tired of having my own back. I've had it for a while now, and that's...
I hope that there's somebody out there that watches these podcasts that... I'm not kidding at all. Like, I'm being dead ass serious.
Am I an alien? Like,
No,
am I
no,
the
no.
only one that thinks like this?
No, like I said, I think your thought is correct, but I think that's a double-edged sword. And like I said, I guarantee you, if enough people watch this, because after the comment section after last week, everyone out there that's
I didn't
watching
see the
this,
comment section because
everyone
I'm
is
still blocked.
block list. I think everyone is perfect, but in case there's somebody who's not perfect, I do believe there are guys out there, and maybe there's women out there too, But I think there are guys out there who are working their fingers to the bone. And I think,
Absolutely. And they're respected. And guess what? Their wife's cooking them lunch every day.
But
if you don't do that and you're not like, there has to be a respect for intimacy. Let me redo that. There has to be
how many of those
respect.
Miller Lights have you got today?
There has to be respect. Then there has to be, with that respect, is trust. And then, when you have the trust, you have the intimacy. You can't have intimacy without trust.
I know, but my point is, Casey, I think there are people out there that are doing everything because they are endlessly in love with their intended. I think they're working those bullshit jobs and they're saying yes to their asshole boss and they're grinding their life. Listen, they're grinding their life away.
I get that.
And their wife is at home saying to her friends, "I wish I had a teammate." I think that's a real thing that is happening out there because that was me.
You can be the best wife. You can do whatever, and y'all will still need something to.
For sure.
Obsess over. I mean, it just doesn't matter what we do.
I just hope I wish that there was a podcast that existed back then that somebody could come like a shining angel from above could come down and say, "Jay, stop fucking working all the time." Because in my head,
it wasn't just that. It was more like pay attention to Casey.
Yeah, of course.
That's what they needed to say.
Right.
You could work all the time and still come home and pay attention, or maybe not take a job that weekend. Maybe take some weekend off and talk. I mean, I went to therapy with you.
That was the worst day of my life, by the way.
And
I
completely understand, but I was trying to go through what I was thinking in my brain. I literally thought I was overwhelmed. I was having anxiety. I was like, what is this crazy thought? I wanted to get through something with you, and you run.
Oh, I left. I hated
from
that.
therapy.
I hated that because she was definitely taking your side, for sure.
Jay.
I think that.
There's this other beer right there.
You have more? I only have one. I didn't agree with justifying cheating at all.
No.
For any reason.
But she didn't justify it.
She
She's
did.
talking.
No, she did
She
justify
didn't say, I personally agree with Casey's choices.
She basically said that I gave you no choice but to cheat, and I just could not.
No, she did not, Jay. She didn't say that. She did not say that. She did not say that.
She did. That's how.
No,
she's
asking questions, seeing what was going on.
It was more like, oh, she cheated. Well, let's ask Jay, what did you do that made her cheat? And I just don't agree with that.
It wasn't that you made me make that decision.
I know, but I'm saying that's what it felt like. Then therapy was. I hate that. I think what we're doing is way better than any therapy.
Yeah, but this is 7 years later that I finally get to talk to you about it. Like, that's 7 years later. From the time it happened, I couldn't talk to you while I was in the relationship with you. I couldn't talk when I was out. You didn't want to hear it.
No, you could talk to me when you're out, but you never once tried until recently. When I say recent, I mean, you probably remember the phone call we had. It was within 2 years. That was the first time, and I even told you that day, that was the first time I ever felt like you actually cared about what you did. And that, for me, is why we're doing a podcast now. I think without that conversation, then somebody said it after last week that I'm still incredibly jaded. And I am.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I am. I am. I'm not as jaded as I was. I think that as we talk through these things, I'm sure I'm not perfect. I think
I think you have to realize that it had nothing to do with you.
Yeah, but that cannot possibly be true. It can't be. It maybe wasn't something that I was doing, but it could have easily been something that I wasn't doing. It was completely controlled by me.
No, because I think even if I didn't do that, I think how we grew as adults, we would not be together.
I disagree. We agree to disagree on that.
You think that is why I'm not that happening is?
Yeah.
Then why why not just be with you today?
Because the damage was so damage done by both. I mean, I wasn't a great boyfriend to you. I know that. I think.
But that's what I'm saying. That wasn't the factor.
So extreme that, Casey, I'm telling you right this fucking second. If
we
you
would
came
not
to
still
me
be
and
together.
said,
we would not still be together.
almost said something. I almost gave something. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have.
We would not still be together. I know we wouldn't. We would have fought and tried to hold on.
Maybe.
Fought crazily in front of kids that we shouldn't fight in front of. because I would have been so unhappy. You would have not understood me because you not think I was serious. I remember standing in the kitchen one time and being so mad at you and you being like, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? You don't have any money.
Well, at the time you weren't working at all. Of course that's
Yes,
true.
that's a fact. That's a
Right.
truth. But you don't say that to somebody that...
But I hate when you can't bring up something like that without the full context, because I don't remember that. So
I know you don't remember that.
I don't remember
I
a
remember
conversation
it.
we had in the kitchen. I'm sorry.
We didn't
I
have a
don't.
conversation in the kitchen. You were doing something and you were pissing me off. And I said, one day I'm going to leave your ass. And you said, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? You don't have any money.
But like I said, without remembering or knowing the context, I could have been joking in some way. But there's
Absolutely not.
There's certainly truth there, though,
Absolutely
too.
not. You were not joking, mate.
I think I could have been, but like I said, I don't know the context of that conversation. I have no clue.
Well, it's imprinted in my brain, and I'm like, look here. 4 years later, and look
Yeah.
what I got a bank account.
Yeah, for you. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. If we would have stayed together, if you would have not done what you did, if we did therapy before all that, I think that could have helped.
We did.
No, we didn't. Not before all of it. No.
When I got back with you the first time,
you
time,
never
took me serious.
I did not think you would cheat on me
you
and leave me.
You
No, I
still
didn't. You're
do
right.
not take me serious.
That's not true. I literally devoted 1/3 of my company to you. What are you talking about? I started a company and literally made you the centerpiece of it.
Okay, so
I take
even
you
in
very
so
serious.
even in the last podcast, I don't think you realize, but you literally do not trust what I say. If I answer and you say bullshit,
Yeah, because you said that you've never dated a guy that wouldn't hold the door open for you. I do think that's bullshit.
Who?
I'm not going to name names.
Well,
I know enough about them, though, to know that I don't think it's something that simple, though.
one
Like,
actually was my boyfriend, had the title of boyfriend.
of course.
Okay, maybe one of them.
So I was right.
Maybe one of them, like,
Don't say that I don't take
Okay,
you serious.
so-
Don't say that. I just have to take offense to that.
maybe just now you started taking me serious.
Oh, just this second?
No. Maybe like in the last 2 months.
I just completely disagree with that. And I think that's fine. I think we'll disagree on a lot of stuff.
So
But I completely disagree.
with that, okay, so how I'm treated in the beginning is much different than when, like, I guess like the first 2 months they play it off. So yes, the first 2 months I was getting doors. Technically, I was getting doors open for me, but no. With that one, no, I was treated like dog shit.
It does change, doesn't it? Isn't that weird? That's one reason I don't want to date. It's like, how long do you have to chisel away to figure out who really is in there?
3 months.
3 months, and then you find out?
Yeah,
I think it's whenever they take a shit in front of you. That's how you know.
I don't know what that is.
I think whenever the person you're with feels comfortable enough to take a shit with the door open, I think that's how you know, okay, I finally found who this person really is.
I don't know who that,
think
what
that's
that
the lie.
means. Yeah, I don't do that. So,
I have a mailbag.
yeah, let's get into that.
I think this is, like I said, I think
This is literally therapy for you. I'm being your therapist. I was your kind of wife. I was your baby mama, and now I'm your therapist. This is unbelievable.
yes.
Do I get paid for this?
You will when we make money. I think one of my favorite things reading after the last episode was so many people commented and said they appreciated how genuine we were and real.
I don't think I could be fake if I tried.
It's funny. I put online weeks ago when we were promoing this, I said, would you do a podcast with your ex? And one of the first comments said, she said a word that was so funny that if I don't use the exact word she said, it won't work. So tell a funny story or something and I'll remember the exact word she said. I'm going to find it. It's because if I can think of a synonym for it, but it won't be as funny as what she said. But now the longer it goes, it will be less funny because I built it up so much. But it was so funny.
I can't believe I broke a nail. I'm having to use press-ons now.
How'd you do it? How'd you
Because
break your nail?
my nails are so thin.
So I said, would you do a podcast with yours? And one of the first comments said, the fact that I'm on the same planet as mine makes me nauseous. That's so. I think a lot of people can relate to that though. Like, imagine.
See, I can't because you know what? I heal from people, and I'm like, they're just a human being.
So next week you're going to host this podcast with one of your other exes?
I mean, I could.
Would you really?
I can
Wow.
talk to everybody. Like, I just forgive. I don't know. I just forgive and let go. Like, what are you going to do? Just sit there and hate on them for the rest of your life? No. Not me.
We have some really cool mailbag questions today. I like this one because I think of all people will watch this and they'll think we just disagree on everything, but that's not entirely true. I think we agree on a lot of stuff. I just think there's an amount of stuff that we don't. But I saw this question earlier and I said this is a good one. What's the biggest thing that y'all disagree on as parents? I know I actually have two, but I don't know if we necessarily disagree.
Oh, I know what
on
yours
them.
is.
Okay, what?
Because I talked to a person for maybe like
Yes,
2
you
months.
already know,
Yeah. I probably will talk to somebody for 2 months and then they'll ask me at dinner and I'll be like, I have my kids, and they'll be like, invite your kids, and I bring the kids, and he cannot stand that I let them meet them. But I have a relation, like, it's just girls. So me, River, and Rose have a different relationship than you and them, and for us, like, there's no way keeping them out of my business. Like, there's no way to keep them out of my business. They want to know.
They
it's
do.
girl time. It's
Yeah.
girl talk. Who are you dating? I kind of, like, let them know that I am dating. So when I know, they trust what I say. So if I say this is serious to them, that means it's serious and they're going to be here for the long haul. They know that I have to find somebody that I've already communicate with them. I have to find somebody that is perfect for me for the rest of my life, and that is a big job to do.
Right. Yes.
So they understand that, and I know you hate that, but
Well, I think I'm better. I used right when we broke up, I was like the most extreme. Like I was so extreme
Yeah.
that I truly believed in my heart that no one should meet our kids unless they are engaged to us.
yeah.
And I think some of the girls that I've talked to about it, they've kind of walked me down from that extreme. I still believe it to a certain degree, you know? I still want, like, no girl has ever met my daughters that I'm dating, that I'm talking with. I mean, we've had birthday parties,
Yeah.
but even that, we weren't dating. We weren't together at all,
Okay.
you know?
They were just
But
in the
they had
bedroom.
kids, but when they have kids and I have kids, like, my kids don't know that I'm dating this person or talking to this person. Most importantly than that, though, my kids don't form a relationship with this person. And that's really the sole reason why I believe that as hard as I do, is
Yeah.
I just don't want my girls to become attached to somebody I'm talking to, and
100%.
then all of a sudden they're out of their life forever
Yes.
because our kids are so endlessly loving,
Yeah.
they really are, and that's really I knew it's funny that you called that immediately because that was
Well-
really. But the other one though, I have another one.
1 second, just on that point.
ahead.
I've also raised my kids, so I know exactly how they are. They know right from wrong. So in that way, like, no, I don't want them to get attached to somebody either, and then somebody leave their lives. But I think
Well, you helped me out a lot too because I remember earlier
Well, they're
I
just a
called you and I
part-
got really mad about it.
yeah,
And you talked to me about it, and it is hard when
they're a part of my life. I
Right.
can't just hide that part of my life. That is my
course.
life. So in a way, it is very difficult. But
I think I just want
promise
these
you,
fucking guys to know how awesome these girls are.
Well, I don't really
And I
care.
don't
They're
think
gonna
a
miss
lot of them
out.
do.
They're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
They know they miss out.
Like they're so lucky to be able to spend
Yeah.
time with my children.
Well, I mean, they don't.
They are.
No,
to
I'm
be
just
in the
saying.
room with them, to be welcomed by them.
Yeah.
That is like, I think if more people really understood how amazing a child's friendship is, it's like they only see the best in people. And when you win them over, that is like the coolest thing you can do as a human adult, is gain the love and trust of somebody you care about's children. And I don't know. I knew that we disagree on it. I think we disagree less than we used to because I used to be so crazy about it. But I think this is one that I don't know if you'll disagree with me on or not. I don't think our kids should have a TikTok. I don't think they should have access to TikTok. I don't think
Yeah.
they should have access to Roblox. I hate Roblox. And I don't know how you feel about that. I just know in the past it's came up that they were on TikTok and I got really mad and you were like, yeah, it doesn't matter. But I could be wrong.
No, I don't agree with TikTok at all. It kind of gets challenging when you're our oldest is in middle school, and so it's
Oh,
like
for sure.
all of her friends. You don't want to really shelter them too much because then they're just going to do stuff behind your back anyway. So it's like,
I've seen things on TikTok that scarred me as a grown ass
of
man.
course,
you
me
know?
too. And so I tell, you know, my daughter, I will monitor. I have full control over that phone. So I monitor. I look at it. Look what you look at. Look at what you share. You know, and I think you really can't. I mean, how today is, you can't protect them from everything. I can only let her see what I'm doing, and her go off of that. That's the main way they learn.
Yeah, I think it's funny. It took me a while to kind of understand, just because when I was in middle school, you know, AOL, AIM instant messaging was like, it just came about. So they're like, things like that weren't accessible. It's just a different world now. I probably sound like an old curmudgeon when I say I don't want them on TikTok, because I just say, you know, when I was growing up, I didn't have to deal with that. I thought that was a great question. Is there anything else you can think of to answer the things that we disagree on?
Well, I didn't answer it.
Well, I asked you and you said, no, I can't think of anything. So I'm giving you another chance now.
That we don't disagree on.
That we do disagree on as parents.
As parents.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I can take it.
I don't know. I mean,
You can say it. Say whatever you're thinking. I don't care.
I feel like you should be stricter. You know, you're not.
We definitely disagree. That's a great answer, because you hate, not hate. You've always been on me about how I parent them.
Okay,
in that
so
regard.
you are very emotionally unstable.
Not true.
Yes. And so when your daughters have a problem with you or say something or they're
Yeah, for
upset,
sure.
you
I
think
take it too
it is
hard.
the end of the world.
Yeah.
With me, I know they're girls, so I'm just like, okay, go to your room for 5 minutes and come back with a better attitude. You over dramatize the situation, get on your knees and give them whatever they want immediately. I do not agree with that.
They got some eyes on them, though. I mean, they know how to get me. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
they're tricksters.
Yeah, they play you all the time.
I think, though, I'm not saying that how I parent is correct. I'm so happy that you brought that up, because I couldn't think of anything, and that's so true. And you're always on me about that. I think I've justified it, at least in a way, in my head. I'm not saying that it's correct. I think that now these days, like, I really only have them 2 days a week. So whenever something happens, I don't want to take away one of those days. Like, I want them to end. When they're with me, I don't want them to have stress or, which is not correct. I mean, they should have restrictions and things they can and
River
can't
should
do,
clean
and
her room.
Absolutely.
Like,
I
you
told
don't
her this week.
You don't make her clean her room. Like, you can't just be bed rotting for days.
What's your worst memory or story about an ex? I like this one because it didn't say about Casey. It said about an ex.
Oh my God, I have
What's your
really
worst
bad
memory?
ones. I have really bad ones.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's really bad ones. Like, I got in a bad situation with somebody I dated that I thought cared about me.
Yeah.
But I mean, he worst. What
Yeah,
what
it's
is
an
it?
interesting one.
Worst what?
What's your worst memory or story about an ex?
Okay. Do you want me to bring up the bushes, or do you want me to just say what happened all the time?
Honestly, I feel like whatever you are comfortable with talking about, because, like, you know, so I've luckily been doing it for so long that at least I feel like I have a relative idea of what I can and can't say most times, or what I'm comfortable with getting out. That's because no one's going to get mad at me for saying something. So I think it's really just take this quick moment to think about what you feel like disclosing, and, you know, if you're comfortable with it, it's up to you.
It's the truth.
Go for it. I like how you asked me, you said, is it okay if we talk about the bushes? And now people are thinking it's something totally different than what it actually is.
Should I say the bushes thing?
I don't know if that's the worst thing.
That has to be. That was terrifying.
It has to be the worst, yeah.
So the reason why
this isn't me, by the way. Let me just say it right now.
It was somebody else.
This ain't me.
But basically, the guy I got in a situation with, I had broken up with. This was 6 weeks prior. I had broken up with, like, done so, wouldn't stop doing what he was doing. That was pissing me off. And so I hadn't talked to him in 6 weeks. Well, I went to trivia with my brother and his now wife, and I went home. I went home, and I couldn't really sleep like a lot because you go through a breakup, you're just up. And I was on TikTok and just watching stuff over and over again, and I hear my bedroom door like open or shut. It actually it was shutting, and it like kind of like hit shut, and I was like, I freaked out. I immediately jumped up, and I had a box cutter in my drawer, my underwear drawer, and so I picked it up.
It's a great place to hide a box cutter.
Into the bathroom. I went into my bathroom and I locked it because I had always been afraid of somebody breaking in or like killing me or something. And so I went in the bathroom and I called 911. And I mean, this was traumatizing. I'm literally shaking. And then I'm getting a knock on my front door. And so I'm like freaking out. They're knocking on my door. She said, okay, just stay in the bathroom. Why don't you ask who it is? Ask who it is. See if the cop's already there. And I'm like, who is it? No answer. Who is it? No answer. They don't even answer. They're just knocking, like weird knocks. I'm like, oh my God, somebody's going to murder me. And I just have this box cutter. And so she finally says, like, the cops are there. And I, like, go and tiptoe out into the living room. And I listen and I hear the cops' radios. And so I'm like, oh my God, thank God, it's the cops. So then they come in. And they're like, so what happened? I'm like, I'm so sorry. I might have just heard my upstairs neighbor, but I swear my back door shut. And it freaked me out. Like, I've always been worried about somebody murdering me. And so they look at the back door and they're like, the other cop goes outside and looks at it. And he's just sitting there talking to me. And the other cop comes back and he's like, yep, somebody definitely opened that door.
Wow.
And I was like, how do you know? How do you know? I might be psycho. Like, tell me like, you know, like,
tell me
I don't
I'm
know.
crazy.
Yeah. And so, then the other guy is like asking me questions. He's like, do you have an ex-boyfriend? And I was like, yeah, but he would never do this. Like, no. He's like, okay, what's his name? And I'm like, but you don't understand. I broke up with him like 6 weeks ago. It never happened. Like, no. And he's like, what's his name?
Oh, this is brutal.
And I'm like, he would not do this. This has to be somebody from off the street trying to get into my house. Like, he would not do this.
Yeah.
I have not heard from him at all. He's happily on his way to another life. He's like,
you guys know where this is going.
I need his truck information. Like, I need all of his stuff.
Wow.
And I'm like, fine. I give it to him.
You guys are wrong, but here's all the information.
I'm telling you, I was kind of like a biddy. Like, and so he goes, well, we'll be out around this area. Just let me know if you need anything. So I go back to bed with the lights on because I'm like freaking out. Have my box cutter under the pillow this time. And I'm sitting there and I get another knock on the door and I'm like, my heart drops. Well, I hear the cop radio and I'm like, oh, it's the cop. So he comes out. He goes, he's out here.
Wow.
I was like, what? Tried to get into my house.
It's insane.
So then
where was he hiding?
In the bushes. And so I ended up, because I'm too nice, and I ended up being like, don't do anything. Like, they were like, do you want us to take him or not? Or do you want to press charges? I'm like, no. Like, don't take it. I know, I'm stupid.
I don't know who's crazier, you or him.
I know. So I just said, no, just let him go, whatever. And, yeah, it was traumatizing.
Yeah.
I mean, weeks after that, I couldn't sleep. I always thought somebody was going to come into my door after that. Traumatizing.
That is like beyond traumatizing. Like, I feel,
I'm telling you, I got it 7 times worse. The Bible says you get back 7 times worse what you do. I got it 7 times worse, Jay. Are you happy?
No, I think I obviously never wanted anything bad to happen to you. Maybe
I know. I'm just.
We've
kidding.
talked about karma before, though, and I certainly want you to know that if you don't already. Like, I do not celebrate in your losses at all. You know, you're the mother of my children. I always want you to succeed. Yours is so good, and mine is like so immature and silly. But it was genuinely it was the first thing that I thought of when the mailbag came in. It has nothing to do with you, so you're safe.
I was a great. Hold on. Let me get this.
Are you vaping?
No, stop. Don't. We're not talking about that.
Oh, sorry.
I was a great girlfriend.
Yeah.
A pain in your ass.
Yeah, you were. You were great. You were great. You were great until things weren't great, but that's fine. That's life. But you never did this. I've got a. It's the worst memory or story about an ex, not counting Casey Meacham. This one is the worst, but it looks so silly compared to yours. But if my mom is watching this or listening to this, I need you to turn it off right now. In fact, I need anyone.
Is this about the piercings?
No. And we cannot talk about that. We can't talk about that one. That's like my favorite memory with it.
Ew, well, it turned you off.
Mom, I'm telling you, if you're watching, stop watching. I'm not kidding at all. I trust you that you will do this and you won't continue to watch. Same with my grandpa who watched the last one, Pop.
What's
If
up,
you're in
Pop?
my family, stop watching. Because it's about sex.
Yeah, of course it is.
So, I was talking with this girl, and what? Why are you making those faces?
Oh, I'm just looking.
Oh, and we were hanging out, and
Get the show on the road.
We go to get the show on the road, and we're in my bedroom, and I'm a big boy now. You know, I got a nice little belly on me, so when I get it on, all the lights in the house are off. You know, I'm a lights off kind of. I have a lights off figure. You know,
I'm a lights on.
I'm all lights
I'm
off.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I bet you are. I bet you are. This, by the way, 20 people said, there was people that I didn't even know that were like, really? That's her ex? And I'm looking at their profiles like hating on them. I was like, who do you think you are? Anyways, all the lights in my house have to be off for the deed to be done these days. But for whatever reason, this particular night, I left a light on. This light wasn't in the bedroom.
You're just giving it a shot. Trying something new.
It was really just lazy.
Oh.
It was like a hallway light.
Okay.
So the light was bleeding in through my door.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if anything, this should tell you that I'm blessed.
Just say
I'm
it.
blessed in that I don't really have that many bad experiences or memories with exes, except for this one. So we get it on. Everything's good. Everything is going according to plan. This was the second time that we had ever hung out like that. So we decided to mix it up. We decided to do something a little bit different. We decided to 69. Yeah, we were going to 69. I was down with that. It was new for me, too. I was like, yeah, let's do that. Sure, I'm in. So I lay back. She assumes the position, and I don't know why, but there was this light shining through the doorway behind her that was it provided a nice cascade of vision for me. And she had a dingleberry this big that I could just see flopping in the fan wind. And it was just, I'm telling you, this thing, like, on a microscopic level, this thing was going. It was in a tornado. It was in a tornado. This thing was bouncing around like you wouldn't believe, and I'm just staring at it. It's just bouncing around, going crazy. When the little bit of light that's coming in killed every shot that I had of continuing that night. It was done. I didn't want to be rude, so I didn't tell her what I saw. I could not stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was a huge dingleberry. It was not little. This baby was big. That's the worst story I have about an ex. See, we're nothing if not honest. That's the worst I have. It was so horrible because she wanted to know why, why was I so unwilling to continue at that point? And I was just like, it was a long night. My stomach hurts, I'm not really feeling great. Like I didn't want to tell her she had a huge dingleberry.
Is that your go-to? Because you've said that a lot. I'm not really
yeah.
feeling great, so I gotta go.
For sure, yeah.
I gotta
that's
go.
my go-to.
If I ate too much.
I ate too much.
That is your number one excuse.
These margaritas. We'll tell the piercing story one day because that is the best story that I could ever tell in regards to dating. But I cannot tell that story right now. I just can't because it's so.
Because you're still in the mix.
No, not at all.
In the rotation.
She's on the block list actually. I just can't because it's so personal, and I don't want anyone to ever feel like I'm making fun of them. Except for you, I'll make fun of you. But you're here and you can take it. This is the last one. Do you want to do another mailbag or do you want to wait? Because we're pretty close.
Just do it real quick.
Not really an ex question, but is age really a number in a relationship? Or I'm sorry, is age really just a number in a relationship?
So I
think we'll agree on this one.
I recently, I dated somebody younger than me. And it was great, but it didn't work out. But I really didn't want to go older.
Who is this? Oh.
Yeah. I didn't really want to go older, and I like familiarity. Like, I like people that like what I'm into and stuff like that. It's just easier.
You like people who watch the Cowboys.
Oh, my God. So, I realized that doing that, I'm not going to be able to date somebody, A, from here, from this town, and B, younger than me or around my age.
Wow. Okay.
I realized that, and that's why I say you learn things, because I really thought, I'm going to find somebody around my age, like 2 years older or, a little bit younger or my age.
Yeah.
I don't think I can. I think I'm going to have to find somebody like 5 years ahead of me. Mm-hmm. Learning that, I'm just like, you don't even understand, like, the self-sabotaging, just because they, not even just younger people, just people around our age, a lot of them self-sabotage. It's like everything's going fine, and then one thing doesn't go your way. There's bigger problems in the world, like, than me not coming to your Christmas party. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane what people get mad over. So, in that,
I think sometimes too, if people are maybe even subliminally done with the relationship, they'll make a mountain out of a molehill just for an excuse to get out of it. I'm not saying that's what happened there, but
no, because they come back and beg. Like, so
I can relate though to that. Like, I think sometimes if people are trying to get out of something and they don't necessarily want to do it, they're just looking for a reason to get out, then it's like...
See, I haven't experienced that side. I really think it is because of insecurities. If somebody feels insecure, they're going to want to get a rise out of you. They want to see your emotional connection or tie to them in a way. And I can't get with that. Like, if you don't believe what I'm saying, you don't trust what I'm saying, then there's nothing further to go. Like, I can't go with you. I can't continue on because there's just nothing there.
Right. I thought we would hunt, like, but if you take yourself out of it, like, you don't have any issues with a girl dating a guy younger than her. Or a girl dating a guy?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I think if it works, it works.
We do agree.
I think if it works, it works, because there are some brides that I've had that their husbands are younger than them, like by 4 years. And it's like he treats her like a princess.
I thought we would agree on it for sure.
But for me personally, I'm just looking for somebody older now.
Yeah. I definitely don't. I think age is just a number for sure. I know I've dated girls that were way younger than me,
Absolutely.
Well, 21, 22 is just my sweet spot, man.
Yeah.
That is my sweet spot. I think dating somebody younger, though, like what I learned really fast is that just communication alone, like how they communicate, I guess I'm just getting old. I mean, like, I get so offended if somebody texts me a one-word answer in response to anything.
I think you're looking
for younger people, that's just how they talk. It's how they communicate.
No,
yes.
Not all younger. No, I think you really have to find somebody that is intelligent. I don't know how to say it.
I just think there's a, like...
They have to read books, Jay.
I got one for you. I talked to this girl younger, and she was probably 22, 23. She never texted, ever. But
I don't like texting either. I'd rather get a phone call. Oh, she's Snapchat?
No.
What?
Oh, by the way, if their Snapchat scores over 100,000, I'm out.
Oh, me too.
Like,
I'm at 16,000 right now. I made a Snapchat about this the other day. Like, people following me with 1 million Snapchat. I'm like, I would never date you. What do you?
Do you ever get off of this app?
And Snapchat is a dating app, by the way.
Is it?
That's how they. Yeah. Can I get your Snap? That's what it is. And I'm like, what is this? I'm not sending pictures of myself.
Right. You have though.
To somebody that I liked, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are some good pictures too, man. Wow. I could probably make some money off of those. What am I thinking?
If I was a girl, I would be a billionaire. I would have so many pictures of my butthole on the internet.
I think you just have to pace your feet now.
Yeah. I mean, my feet are fine, though. I could do these.
Yeah.
I got Nike swooshes tattooed, too, so it's...
All right, and
Listen, my point is...
continue.
I think that... No. You didn't let me tell you the funny part.
Let's go.
This girl, she never texted, but we texted all day, every day. It was so weird. She never texted with words. She only texted with voice memos. But that was 100% how she communicated.
That sounds sketch. Like she
Isn't
doesn't want
that
proof.
weird?
No,
No,
proof.
no.
Did they disappear?
No, we knew each other. We knew each other well. No, yeah, they didn't disappear.
They stayed there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it was like, I would get a text and it would say, what are you up to today? And then I would text back like, haha, this is fucking weird. Like, why not just text me this? But I would say, whatever. And then another one. And then it went on for like weeks. And I was like, I just got used to it.
That's interesting.
Before we wrap episode 2, there were people that said the first episode was the Jay Watley show. And I didn't like that. So I want to give you the opportunity now to do it. Like, if there's anything that you feel like maybe we didn't get to today, I want you to, have the floor. That was not smart, by the way. You can't crunch up a beer can next to a microphone.
Sorry,
You just
I'm not
can't
used
do
to
it.
this.
I want to say that we did have a discussion last week on who would lead in and out of things. And it wasn't that I was people thought that I was just being a jerk because I was going and I was getting us in and out.
Does my hair look okay?
No.
All right. Well, no, I mean, I think you do. I don't think it's the Jay Watley show. I think a lot of it was, you did have to tell your side of how you felt back then and stuff. Like
Yeah. I just don't want anyone to think that because you've gotten on me about it, certainly in the process of creating this podcast. Like, we have, if we put out shorts, you approve them. You look at it with our thumbnail for the YouTube.
Yes.
I think
you're not used to having a partner though. Like, it's something that you have to get into, and like, you have to learn how to share. I think that is a big thing, and you're alone. So like a lot of people, they live their life like you're the only one you think about every day when you wake up.
Right.
I mean, sometimes, so it's just like, it's a part of learning and like
at
adjusting.
the end of the episode, depending on how, I think we should do it every episode, but sometimes I can be long-winded, and I apologize. I really do. I want to do Casey's Corner. This is to end the podcast.
You know what I think?
Casey's Corner.
Look,
What's on
I'm
your
trying
mind,
to talk
Casey?
now, and he's still talking.
Yeah.
No, I interrupted you, but I really think we should do, like dating advice. Like, people should ask me for dating advice.
I think that's a great question.
Like, I don't think the whole world's going to want my advice on dating, but I think I would love to help people that do have one little issue and, like, wanted to pick my brain about it because I've been through all of it. And now I'm at 31.
The full spectrum.
Yeah.
You're 31?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a grown up now.
Look at you.
I know. I'm thriving. Like, literally, like, 30s is it.
The Casey Corner, before we wrap, is there anything else, though, that maybe is there anything in the first episode where you rewatched it? Is there anything you said, man, I wish I would have said this here?
Yeah.
Do it now.
Well, I mean, I think you have to understand that, like, everyone's going through stuff,
Yeah.
whether it looks like it or not. I think you really just need to be kind to people. And if it doesn't affect your life, like, I mean, this is a big issue with me. Every time I go and date somebody new, or they're just talking to me, or they see me out and talking to somebody, it's don't date her. Don't date her. I mean, I see the text messages that you send to my significant other that I'm talking to.
Now, by the way, when you say you don't, because you're looking at me.
Oh, me.
Just so we're crystal
We're talking
clear.
about me, yeah. And, I mean,
It's not me sending these text
these people
messages.
don't even know me. They've never had
Yeah.
a conversation with me.
I get that all the time, too. It's the worst.
It's like, I think where I didn't get to defend myself on some stuff you said, like, you're completely valid in all of your feelings that you felt during that time and what happened. But to think that a person can't evolve and grow and realize the mistakes they made at 25, that's just like small-mindedness. Like, you're really not that smart. You're judging someone based off a situation that they were in. And I think some people's lives are put on, you know, a camera or social media. You can't help that. And honestly, you need to show a little bit of grace. Like,
Are you talking to me when you say you? Because
no.
I don't.
Do you feel like you're blamed?
No, that's the problem.
Okay, if the shoe fits, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
4 minutes you said you so many times, and I'm like, wait a second.
As in, like,
I need to do this and
I know.
that.
I'm saying, like, as in just people with certain. I mean, I hear it for other people, not just myself. I hear, oh, don't talk to her because of this. It's like, oh, well, I'll figure it out for myself. Like, why would you do that to a person? They're human beings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's going, people are going to do things. And more than, you know, when our parents were growing up, everything's plastered on the internet. Everybody's exposed. Everybody's canceled. Everybody's this and that. Like, if it's none of your business, just go live your life.
Right.
Obviously, if you're concentrating on my life so much, like, you have nothing going on for yourself.
That would be a really great, like, entire episode theme.
I don't think I could talk about that for an entire episode. I really don't care.
Well, we have just a strong opinion on social media and how so many people, like, their entire life is social media, to the point where you have no clue who these people really are, you know, and when you get around them in person.
That's just how the world works.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't have to.
I mean, there's so many injustices in the world that you can only fight for so much. Pick one and do it. But, like, as in involving yourself in my dating life and telling somebody that you shouldn't date somebody, I'm a full-blown mom over here. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever commented on somebody else's dating life, or if you should do this or if you should do that. I have many guy friends, and I've never, even if I've heard something, never have been like, oh, don't mess with her. Like, what? Like, stuff is going to happen organically. You should allow that to happen and stop manipulating people's minds to think that they're some kind of monster. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, I think so too. I think most people also...
they're growing up. They're in their 20s. They're making mistakes. You're allowed to make mistakes.
For sure.
That's what you learn from.
Well, and I know just from because I dealt with a little bit of that too, where I talk to somebody and some of them are honest about it. Some of them aren't. Some might just ghost me completely. I'm on the block list and I never hear from them again. But for a lot of them, I'll be, you know, starting a relationship or getting to know somebody, and they'll say, well, I just got this message. We posted our first picture together last night, and I got this message. And it's just somebody all up in my business for no reason. And what they're saying isn't true. That's another thing. It's like, I think some people just read things online, or they've heard something from, like, if 20 people tell a story to each other in a circle, by the time it gets around, it'll be a totally different story. And it's crazy to me how confident some people are in saying things. And I think that's really an issue that a lot of people, certainly a lot of businesses deal with it. I think people are just so confident. Everybody has their own power vacuum of endless support now. Everyone has a platform. Everyone has a social media page that will like and interact with anything they post and share their opinions. I think that that's always bothered me when that's happened to me, and I'm sure it's bothered you. It's like, number one, I don't know this person that texted you. They don't know me. I can tell you that. I don't know them. So it's just the audacity to me to get in business that isn't yours. Like, stay in your lane.
In the beginning, when you first see it, it's like, but you defend yourself. Like, I have proof, like, on my phone for a lot of things, but also it's coming from a person that hasn't even had one conversation with me ever in life.
Yeah.
So I initially it bothers me, but there's no reason to defend myself. Right. If you want to trust somebody else, then go do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and fight for you to believe me. I'm 31 years old. If you want to get to know me and know the person I am, that's great. But I will never fight for somebody to understand me. If you don't understand me or want to, you're not a part of you shouldn't be a part of my life, or you're not meant to be a part of my life. And I mean,
well said.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I don't want to sound like I don't care about people, because those same people that do that to me, I would gladly greet with them with a smile and help them with anything they needed.
Yeah.
some people's hair. Like, even they ask me to do their hair and makeup. I'm like, but I know how much you talked about me. Like,
Yeah.
but I still do their hair and makeup. Like, it's just like,
all the time. People that
It's
ask
like-
to like get in free to a club, and I'm like, but I know
Yeah.
things.
yeah. But I mean,
I
what
think
are you
that's
gonna
part
do?
of just living in a small community
Yeah,
too.
and I don't really. I mean, it really doesn't affect me. So go ahead and you can talk to whoever you want to about me and not like me and all that stuff.
We need to get that Casey's Corner sponsored, man. You just killed it. That was great. You didn't even we didn't even talk about that before. You
The
just
advice, the relationship advice.
whatever you just did. I mean, you just took it away there. It was awesome. Thank you for doing another episode. I think this is a good point here. We've gone for a long time, longer than the first one. It's so interesting to me. I'm just so not used to that, to not having like, you got to stop at this exact point. I like that. Is there anything else before we go?
No,
You're going to Florida this week?
I'm going to Gulf Shores actually. So
Oh, that's not Florida.
peace out.
I hope you have a blast. Take pictures of my children. I told Rosie to collect shells for me, and she said she wouldn't.
Yeah,
So tell her to do that.
we're busy. We're busy being. I
Being-
can't say hot girls. That's my daughters.
Yeah, don't say that, please. Have a great time in Florida. If you'd like, go ahead and take us out. Episode 2. Give us that Casey Meacham outro.
Thank you for listening to the Exes podcast experiment.
No.
What is it then?
How does this happen?
What is it?
The Exes?
The Exes?
A podcast?
I just said that.
No, you did not.
Thank you for listening to the Exes, a podcast experiment.
Available where?
Available on Spotify and YouTube.
And Facebook?
And KSBC website. You can click on that thing.
I believe we're on Apple Podcasts as well now.
Okay.
That was good. You nailed it.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye.